Good day and welcome. Chapter 20 will touch light energy reflection from plane surfaces. Number one has to do with solving calculation. Number two also has to do with calculation. Okay. Number three, which of the following statement is not true of the image in a plane mirror? Which of the following statement is not true of the image in a plane mirror? It is never magnified. Okay. It is never magnified. It's always unity or the same. So number three is option D. Number four, which of the following does not describe the image formed by a plane mirror? Similar thing to number four is option D. It is never magnified. You see, most times they repeat similar portions. Is that easy? This chapter we are going to be really fast with it. What is the effect of the increase in the size of the hole of a pinhole camera on the image? So when you increase the size of the hole in the pinhole camera, what will happen is that it gives a blur image, right? It gives a blur image. I want you to jot down. In pinhole camera, small hole produces sharp image. Small hole produces sharp image, while large hole produces blur image. Blur image. Number 10. Which of the following statements supports the assumption that light travels in straight line? A source of light produces distinct shadow of opaque objects. Option B. When they say opaque are substances that light cannot travel through, like your wall. If you point torch on one side of your wall and you go to the other side, you will not see this thing. Okay, that's it. Number 11. Okay, that's 10. Okay. Unacceptably, okay, D. Alright. Oh, this is 12, right? As to the calculation. The plane number 13. Kaleidoscope is always at 60 degrees. Right. Kaleidoscope is spelled Kaleidoscope. Is always at 60 degrees, while periscope is always at 45 degrees. So that thing, they say a plane mirror in a kaleidoscope are usually placed at option A, 60 degrees. Shadows and eclipse result from rectilinear propagation of light. Right? Shadow and eclipse equals rectilinear propagation of light. Option B. Next, a boy looks at the image of an object in a plane mirror. He observes two images, a main bright one and the other faint. The observed image results from reflection only. Option A. Number 16. The image in a pinhole camera is surely inverted. It's surely inverted and is formed by the light from each point traveling in a straight line. 16 is option D. The image in a pinhole camera is always inverted and is actually from the light that travels in a straight line to form each part of the image. 16 is D. 17. When a plane mirror at which a ray is incident is rotated through an angle Q, the reflected ray will be rotated through 2Q. Okay, 19. Total eclipse of the sun occurs when? Total eclipse of the sun occurs when, right? Total eclipse of the sun, as 19, will occur when the moon is between the sun and the earth. Total eclipse of the sun occurs when the moon is between the sun and the earth. Next, I want you to jot down. Eclipse of the moon, the earth is in between the moon and the sun. So when there's eclipse of the moon, the earth is in between. Eclipse of the sun, the earth is in between. So see this option C. The moon. Total eclipse of the sun, the moon will be in between. While eclipse of the moon, the earth will be in between the moon and the sun. That one, it will, if you can only see it when you're on the moon. So 19 is option C. The moon is in between the sun and the earth. But eclipse of the moon, the earth is the one in between. And the reflection will be in the moon. You will stand for moon. 20. Okay. Now see sun, see moon, see earth. This one now, it's like eclipse of the sun. When the sun, the moon, and the earth are shown in the diagram above, the observer standing at uh, at X. So somebody standing here is in, the observer is in the penumbra region and sees partial eclipse. It's not in the main part. To be in the main part, you need to be around this place of the earth, but just slightly down, you are in the penumbra region. An angle, okay, an object is placed in front of a two. There's a calculation. A man standing, an engineer. Calculation. If an object is placed between two parallel planes with their reflecting surfaces facing each other, how many images of the object will be formed? How many images of the object will be formed? You get infinity, option D. What happens if the ray in a parallel beam of light? What happens to the ray in a parallel beam of light? They meet at infinity. They meet at infinity. They meet at infinity. 28. The sharpness of the boundary of the shadow of an object is determined by the intensity of light striking the object. 28 is option B. Intensity of light striking the object. 29. Non-luminous objects can be seen because they reflect light. Non-luminous objects can be seen because they reflect light. Examples of non-luminous objects, jot down. The moon in itself is a non-luminous object. Why? Example of a luminous object is the sun. Those are most stars are also luminous objects. There are certain insects that have their own light. They are luminous objects. So they reflect. 29. C. 30. The instrument used by designers to obtain different color pattern is called kaleidoscope. 30 is option C. Kaleidoscope is a toy that produces colorful spectacles, different colors. Kaleidoscope. Kaleidoscope. All right. Number 32. An object of moon, sun, street light, stars. Which is a natural source of light? Natural source of light is the sun. I and the stars. I and IV only. Where is it? I and IV only. 33 is option D. We just talked about it now. 34. The eclipse of the sun. The eclipse of the sun occurs when the moon is in between the sun and the earth. The moon is in between the sun and the earth. 34 is option C. We've touched out. This has to do with calculations, and the last question here we'll touch. If the distance between the object of a pinhole camera is reduced by half, the size of the image of the object will do what? The size of the image of the object will. There's a calculation here that has to do with it, but the thing will quadruple. This will be solved in our demonstrative series. If you've gotten to this point, check through. I asked you to jot down some things. If you've jotted down, well done. I'm going to drop a link in the description box of this video. You could make use of that link and you would snap and send for assessment on our group. If this is your first time coming across our clip, I would like to let you know that we run classes both for JAMB, O levels and A level. If you'd like to be part of the class for science students, you could also make use of the link in the description box, and when you get there, you could actually enroll and join the class. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.